And as our next story will show, sometimes time can reveal things to you in ways that you didn't necessarily anticipate. So our next story is ready for you. Please welcome Timmi Lasley with Animal Bucket.
Before I say anything, I should show you this. This is what I got from my mother for Christmas 3 years ago. An emptied ice cream bucket covered in preschool fabric. I remember opening the package and seeing the print and thinking, animals? Animals. Animals? My dismay knew no bounds. Let me explain something about my mother. She's insane. Lots of people would say that about their mother, but not everybody has the handmade macaroni art to prove it. My mother has what's called dissociative identity disorder, more commonly known as multiple personalities. Upon receiving the gift of my animal bucket, I asked my mother, as nicely as I could, why the animal print? She replied that she had run out of the other, nicer material she used to make my sisters, but knew that I would still use mine, as I've always been very practical like that. She's right. To this day, I use it in my bathroom to hold brushes and makeup. It is very practical. She knows me so well. But because of her disorder, I've never really known my mother. Like most children of dysfunctional people, I only infrequently notice that there might be something wrong with my family. My mother's behavior seemed normal. I mean, she was an adult woman after all. And doesn't society teach us that adult women are naturally moody and irrational? So it was normal, right? Plus, my mother is an extreme extrovert, extremely yang energy, outwardly focused person. Let me say it another way. I don't think she's had a thought in her head for more than 2 minutes that she hasn't said out loud. Aren't people like that usually socially awkward? So she seemed normal. For her. She used to say, "Man, have you ever had an argument with yourself and lost?" And just like telling someone your mother is crazy, people automatically respond with something like, "Yeah, tell me about it." We came to understand the full meaning of what she was saying when I was 8 or 9 years old. My parents had taken my brother and me to Walmart to pick out toys, one of those no good reason at all memory-making things. On the ride home, my mother was acting very strangely, asking a lot of questions, being wide-eyed about everything, abounding energy that seemed seriously misplaced even for my mother. When we got home, she very sweetly asked if she could see my dolly. It was a lavender-cased Polly Pocket, and once she had it, she was unwilling to share it again. She had asked to see my brother's gack, but immediately threw it to the floor, pronouncing it icky. I think my brother, sweet intuitive soul that he is, understood before any of us that this was not my mother. This was a little girl. This was a baby.
No, it's not working.
When my mother was 2 years old, she'd been caught in a house fire which left unsightly scars on her jaw, chin, and forearms. We had just met Becky, the part of herself my mother had created to deal with that traumatic event and its fallout. We had just met the part of my mother that was forever reliving that fire. When my mother picked up smoking at the mental hospital some months later, Becky began to integrate, or merge back into the whole. You win some, you lose some. There is a certain high level of intelligence that must be present in a person for them to even go that crazy. My mother would agree with that. She's always said that her children must get their smarts and their sense of humor from their father because she still has hers, which I've always thought was a pretty smart joke. This intelligence allowed her to place partitions in her mind like bulkheads in a sinking ship. It allowed her to be a pretty functional person for most of her life. My mother has had a very difficult life. Because of the scars, she had a hard time even speaking aloud in grade school, let alone making friends. Her father died when she was 11, leaving her mother to provide for a family of 9. Things sort of fell apart, and in the absence of order, my mother suffered sexual abuse at the hands of multiple older men. These are just the things that I know about. But I don't really know my mother. It's hard enough to get to know someone, let alone getting to know multiple separate distillations of a person. Where are the boundaries? Where did these people stop and my mother begin? Who gets credit for what? These are the questions from my childhood that I've spent my entire life reliving. I remember the summer of the pool passes. My mother made a deal with our hometown rec center. She would volunteer to clean the pool and locker rooms in exchange for free passes for all 4 of her children. We practically lived at the pool that summer. In my impossibly immature mind, I figured that my mother did it because she wanted to get out of the house, have something to do. I mean, being a stay-at-home mom must be pretty boring, right? Now, as I think back on it, I realize she could never have afforded summer passes for all 4 of her children any other way. With the luxury of hindsight, I see it as the beautiful gift of a genuinely selfless act. My mother had graciously given us the summer of the pool passes. Or had she? It's more likely that it was Stephanie, the alter ego who had come to embody all that was maternal in my mother. Stephanie was soft, loving, easily manipulated with the bat of an eyelash, and someone quite separate from my mother.
Well, hi. I'm Stephanie. What a beautiful day for the pool. Tommy, no running on the pool deck. Sorry, don't let that. I love the Go-Go's. And martinis. And my new shoes. Very summer of the pool pass, don't you think? Oh, hi, Marcia. I was thinking about going to a one-piece myself. Where did you get it? Target? I love it. I'll give you a call next week and we'll go out with the kids. Oh. Johnny, one at a time on the pool, on the diving board, please, and thank you very much. Ooh, nice kick, Robbie. Right to me. Bella, stop it. He needs to breathe. Oh no, lightning! Everyone out of the pool! nuggets. Into the pool house. Let's go, let's go. Who's ready for Twister and Rice Krispie treats?
I remember the naked trees. It was a family road trip, and we were high up in the mountains just below Timberline. My mother was in high spirits and had been cracking jokes all day. My little brother was sitting up front on her lap, and she had him laughing so hard his breath came out in ragged gasps. Every time we passed a pine tree that was dead, its branches dried, stripped, laid bare to the wind, she would cover his eyes and exclaim, "Naked trees! No, no, you're too young for that!" It had become a well-timed, perfectly executed game, and soon the whole car was in stitches. It was one of my favorite memories of my mother. But it wasn't her. It was Sam, an alter ego who stubbornly refused to explain themselves. We were not even allowed to know Sam's gender or why Sam was part of my mother's psyche. When asked at therapy, Sam replied, "Well, that's between me and Susie, and you'll never know," with a dark edge that hinted at miles of depth. Sam was a full person with an agenda all their own. But just as soon as that depth was revealed, it was gone again, replaced by Sam's signature twinkle. I had never actually seen someone's eye twinkle until I met Sam. Sam was hilarious, the life of the party.
I'm gonna tell you a story. I'm gonna tell you about my town. I'm gonna tell you a big fat story, baby. I'll tell about my town. Yeah, down by the river. Down by
For the first time in the Mile High City, performing for us tonight, it's Sam.
Dikembe Mutombo? So, let's hear it for that economy, huh? Yeah. Like most of you, I used to be struggling. So I signed up for one of those clinical trials, you know, for the juice and block of cheese, but became more like cheese blockage. You know what I mean? So then the doc prescribed me this top secret experimental drug, Prune Dragon. Now I'm clean as a wind tunnel. Only side effect? Dead arm. Yeah, it hit me about a week ago when I was in Parker for techno night at the Tender Schnitzel. I was on the dance floor, getting ready to tear it up when all of a sudden, my arm goes dead. So then I'm grabbed from behind by Donnie, the president and CEO of Donnie's Hot Picks. And he says to me, "Congratulations, you've just won a free photo shoot in my private studio in Lakewood." And I was like, whoa. It's that night that I was educated about the history of the dead arm and the influence it's had on the modeling industry. Just take a look at these pictures. You have the double dead arm. It's early 90s French dead arm, right there. Gucci dead arm. Yeah, right there, you see that? Men, even they do the dead arm. And over there, you recognize that face. Kate Moss, dead arm, right in your face. And some of my favorites. That's right. Myself. So you can see we created a little photo magic that night. Needless to say, my modeling career has really taken off. I've actually got a shoot in Pueblo tomorrow morning, so I gotta call it a night, but... Hey, Pueblo! Do I hear it for Pueblo? Woo! Yeah! So, I just want to say to all you doctors out there, Side effects should include successful modeling career. That's right, thank you, Prune Dragon. Good night.
But Sam was separate. Sam was not my mother. I remember Laurie's temper. Laurie was my mother's protector. She was hellfire and brimstone. She was the part of my mother that secretly resented her children. She was the part who stored away every slight, every misdeed done, every way in which my mother had ever been taken advantage of or abused. Laurie was the fastidious caretaker of this laundry list of offenses. Laurie stepped in when she thought my mother was being too weak, too vulnerable. Laurie got shit done. Laurie never did things nicely.
Animal! Animal! Oh, there you are! Animal, I've been looking everywhere for you. What have you been doing?
Get your ass in the house now! Because of you, the entire day is ruined. Get your ass inside that house right now. God damn it! God damn it! How many times do I have to tell you? I will call every day. Don't you disrespect me. You're scared. Go ahead. You think I won't find you? I'll find you. When I do, you'll be sorry. I wish I never had you kids.
Oh, hey, Poodles.
Hi. I didn't mean to make her angry.
It's all right. You know she loves you. She does. Yes. Do you want to go to the pool?
Yeah?
Here, put this on. Come on. Let's go get some soft serve from the snack shack.
Oh, really? Can I get a chocolate vanilla twist?
Looking out on the morning rain, I used to feel so uninspired. And when I knew I had to face another day, Lord, it made me feel so tired. Before the day I met you, life was so unkind. You're the key to my peace of mind. 'Cause you make me feel, you make me feel, you make me feel like a natural woman. Cheers, bitches. When my soul was in that lost and found, you came along to claim it. Hold this for me. Thank you. I didn't notice what was wrong with me. Oh, till your kiss helped me name it. Now I'm no longer doubtful of what I'm living for. And if I make you happy, I don't need to do more. 'Cause you make me know. You make me, fuck that. You make me feel like a natural woman. Oh, baby, what you done to me? You make me feel so good inside. And I just wanna be close to you. You know you make me feel so alive. You make me feel, you make me feel, you make me feel like a natural woman. You make me feel, you make me feel.
Who was my mother? Who gets credit for what? Do I say the nice memories are my mother Susan and the bad ones get to be somebody else? Do my memories make more sense if I separate them out that way? Cherry-picking good memories and ascribing them to my mother while blaming her alters for the bad was a coping mechanism that allowed me to accept my childhood. For my mother, separating traumatic memories from the core of who she believed she was a coping mechanism that allowed her to live her life. Yet for her, it eventually became the dysfunction. Might the same thing be true for me? Will my coping mechanism of memory cherry picking eventually become my dysfunction as well? Has it already? These questions seem more monstrously important the older I get, which is why I relive these oft-asked questions. Who gets credit for what? Who is this woman who brought me to this life? Which one taught me who I was and how to love? Which one raised me? Which one made me this ridiculous bucket? Who is this woman?
Years of reliving and I still don't know. I don't know the answer to any of these questions. But I do know that I've come to appreciate this gift for what it truly represents. My mother gave me an animal bucket, but without realizing it, she also gave me a portrait of herself. An eccentric and vibrant misfit, cobbled together from the fabric of her life. Not hoping to be admired or set somewhere to be cherished, just hoping to be useful, ready and willing to be needed. So in the ways that really matter, perhaps I already know everything I need to know about my mother.